With an average attendance of over 700,000, the Rimini meeting, held annually since 1980 and lasting 1 week in the second half of August, is the biggest and most frequented worldwide summer festival of encounters, exhibitions, music and entertainment. The event is unique of its kind that for 29 years has sought to create points of contact between people of different faiths and cultures, certain that places of friendship between mankind could be the beginning of the construction of peace, coexistence and common welfare. Over there was a population, or rather an endless crowd of common people, but not any crowd. Often they are of modest origin and entire families. Everyone desired to be together, but also to meet different people. These people did not ask you where you came from, but they only wanted to understand where you were going. And every time I felt listened to and never judged. This has never happened to me. To generate a civilization that is born from truth and from love. Build this civilization without ever becoming tired. It is the task I leave you today. Work for this, pray for this, suffer for this.
A man becomes the protagonist of reality, and reality becomes his when he discovers who he is. The I becomes a protagonist because it has a face and receives a unifying conscience of himself and of reality. The I becomes king of reality, not because it owns reality, but because it discovers that it is designed by someone else.
Apart from a small core of 14 people who work full-time on the preparation, the Rimini meeting is organized, prepared, managed and then dismantled by the impassioned and generous efforts of volunteers who number each year over 3,000. The meeting has always been characterized by a great open-mindedness, and this is testified by the amount of significant personalities that have participated and by the great themes that they have discussed. Despite their differences, today humanity lives a common reality because by recovering basic experience, restoring this basic experience, humanity can find this common language in which they can dialogue. Father Giussani very clearly specified by saying, the more an individual is human, the more he will to obtain certainties around others. Beauty is truth, and truth is beauty. The beautiful wounds, but this is exactly how it summons man to his final destiny. The beautiful is knowledge, certainly, but in a superior form, since it arouses man to the real greatness of the truth. The encounter with the beautiful can become the wound of the arrow that strikes the heart, and in this way opens our eyes. Nothing can bring us into close contact with the beauty of Christ Himself.
Alexander Hamilton wrote in a language similar to Pope Benedict that the sacred rights of mankind are not to be rummaged for among old parchments. but they are written in the whole volume of human nature by the hand of divinity itself, and can never be erased or obscured by mortal power. Similarly, for the Catholic social thought, human rights originate from a natural order, whose laws can be discovered by studying and by experiences, by believers and not believers. To remove human rights from that context, the Pope points out, would destroy their universality.
We have lost interest in ourselves. We have lost this fundamental question. Why are we living? Why were we born? Without answering this question, we do not live like persons, and we do not deserve to be called men, even if we believe life is full of significance. I believe we have the duty to answer this question. All our life and future must be dedicated to answering this question. Of mankind could be measured by the dominion we establish in this world, we would be condemned to nothingness. Even the greatest power would result as being insignificant, despicable, and, I would say, ridiculous. We should therefore ask ourselves, is there something in man that compares with the universe's vastness, with the whole truth? Every human action has a cosmic dimension. There is no human action unless in relation to the whole. I worked in industry. Then I worked in trading. I sold tires. I carried out research. Above all, I tried to understand the interrelational problems of the people that worked in the company. I got to know the factory workforce, and I immediately understood that the title labourer made no sense. I was dealing with men, people just like me, with their qualities and their defects. And this is how suddenly any notion of class disappeared. This idea has followed me throughout my life. That music is ours from the earth, stolen, taken, extorted from a greater music that is the universal music. I always thought that man's need was to live with music, because without music, man would really be a beast. Music is the need of a force, of an exaltation that comes from the universe. I remember the emotion I had in 1933 at the seminar in Milan when a professor of Italian literature entered the classroom waving a German scientific magazine in which a well-known interpreter, Deisman, recounted an unexpected discovery, fragments of the John's Gospel that was found in Ossirinco, Egypt, dated much later than that which has commonly been accepted. In other words, dated to the Trajan era. The instrument with which man has continued towards truth is reason, used accordingly. It is the mysterious situation where reason fails, almost like an obstacle to close a pathway to the research of truth. It is resolved by the introduction of the history of man, Jesus of Nazareth.